I'm Dr. Kristen Finn, and this is my wonderful model, Shuli. Shuli is suffering from a right cruciate ligament tear, and she's just in the beginning of her therapy. I just want to show you something that's super useful for every single dog that has a hind limb issue. When they have a weak hind limb, they're pulling themselves up with their front end. So they get very stiff and tight and sore around their head and their shoulders. So just get your hands wide like a starfish and making little circles around her head and around her atlas, which is the first bones that you feel. And I was already doing this while we were getting ready for the camera, so she's already in relaxed mode. So your dog will love you for this. And it's a good way for you to provide them with some relief. So just massaging in where the shoulder blade or the scapula meets the neck. This region gets pretty tight and sore. Just like humans, they get sore up here from being at a computer for hours and hours, or sitting in a car worried. Same thing. Then with the hind limbs, both hind limbs, but the hind limb has the tear, the injury, which in her case is the right, just doing, we were doing some icing. If Alex wants to hand me the ice Dixie cups. It's just a Dixie cup, but fill with water and put it in the freezer. Super nice handle to be putting some ice on there. And of course, most dogs want to lick the ice. That's fine. That is very potent for relieving pain. And then also just taking your hands wide, don't grab anything, and just pushing the leg into straightness, and then just reaching down to the bottom of the foot to bring it into flexion. Don't push your dog past the stretch that's comfortable. We're just creating some motion, passive range of motion. This is the only way the joint gets nutrition and blood flow and joint fluid movement is by bending. There's no blood vessel that goes down to the joint to nourish it. It takes movement, and when they're sore and favoring their leg, they're not moving the joint as much. There you go, sweetheart. Good girl. Nice flexion and then extension. Then I'm just going to use my left hand to gently guide the leg just back a little bit. This is likely to be uncomfortable for a lot of dogs. So just pendulum them back a little bit, and then I'm going to pendulum forward just a little bit, using your dog's, getting the signals for them, what they're comfortable with. Just creating a little motion and then a little flexion, and then I'll go back to my icing to make the joint feel better. So that's a couple simple things that you can do to help your dog with their pain, getting some motion in the joint and also massaging their sore shoulders and sore neck. Every dog loves that, and make sure you're comfortable when you're doing this, that you're seated and you have a nice padding under you, because if you're tight and tense, you're not going to help your dog relax. Thanks so much.